What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Friday, TGIF, DFS 5-pack here, talking a little NBA DFS for the 8th of January. We got ourselves a big slate tonight. Both football videos are already out if you want to check them out. I know we got some wild card weekend to get into and get excited about, but because it's Friday, the only sport that matters today is the NBA, and we are ready to get after it for hopefully what is another successful slate of DFS.
Yeah, always love some Friday night NBA. Excited to get after it.
Absolutely. I will be playing tonight because guess what? I play every night.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. So, again, I brought this up the last couple days. We've had some nice, successful meetings. We're taking on new advertisers. If you happen to be listening to this and catching this and you'd be interested in having us bring you up in the start of videos, we are here. Hit me up in my DMs to discuss this. And as far as current 5-pack promotions go, guys, I'm going to up the ante on this one a little bit. Anybody who buys the NBA package today, all done through the website, I will key you in for all the write-ups for the NFL playoffs, just as a courtesy from us. Go to the website, make that purchase. If you just want a day pass, those are all available through the website. The link is below. Subscribe to the station if you're new to it. We'll be out here crushing NBA DFS all year. And if you don't mind clicking that thumbs up button, you guys keep showing us the love. And about once a week, we'll drop those members-only videos to the public free of charge.
Amen, man.
All right, guys, get these write-ups. We're going to continue to roll with the new format this year. And we are going to start out with my cash game lock of the day. And you will not be alone if you put Daniel Theis into your roster today. News came out. The Boston Celtics are missing pretty much every big man not named Daniel Theis or somebody who has the first name of the best food in the world, Taco Fall. Theis is the guy who will be in the starting lineup tonight. He's 4,300. He has a crush spot matchup with the Washington Wizards tonight. No end of a back-to-back right here. Expect him to play at least 25 minutes, barring foul trouble. Could play upwards of into the 30s if needed to be. Williams, Thompson, Grant, these guys are all out tonight. He's a center with power forward eligibility. The Wizards are number 2 in possessions per game this year, which is great for the Boston Celtics guys. I expect this to be a competitive game. The Wizards only play close competitive games, so keep it rolling. And he's also a very capable NBA player. He's not going for 50 tonight, but you got to feel good about the floor here.
Yeah, you got to feel really good about him at 4,300. Not a great NBA player or anything, but a guy that's competent when he gets good run. He should play big minutes here. A game we expect to be competitive. I mean, at this price point, knowing, what we know with all those other, big men out, except for, like you said, Taco Fall, not crazy at all to think he's the best dollar-for-dollar play on the entire slate. On paper, he certainly looks to be up there. I think you just take the free square and move on in all formats.
Yeah, we use the term free square to describe players that will be in most people's roster, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of edge by fading them. You know what I mean? Like baseball and basketball are different in that sense, which is something you like to hound home. In basketball, sometimes you get a free square, you take it, you got 7 other roster spots to differentiate in your tournament lineups and in your cash games. There's more risk to fading him than there is to playing him. He's going to be, 85, 90% owned tonight probably in cash games? Like, just play him and move on.
Yeah, exactly.
Next up, as far as your GPP play of the day, a guy that we both have some interest in. Again, all the same things apply to Jason Tatum that do Daniel Theis. They are undermanned, and they go up against a really excellent opponent for DFS. The Wizards have come back in games they're blowing out, have let teams back into it when they are blowing out, have played nothing but close competitive games, and they move at a fast pace.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, listen, we just talked about Theis and how he should just walk into DFS points because he's going to play good minutes here. Well, you just take that point and multiply it times 1 billion for Tatum. I mean, the best player on the Celtics, one of the best players in the NBA, playing a Wizards team we've always loved to pick on. The Wizards, especially when Westbrook's playing, are really good offensively, not so much defensively. Same points apply for Theis. I expect a competitive game here. You got to love for Tatum. He's had a couple games recently where he struggled in the first half and then came monster in the second half. If he puts it together for a whole game, he's got, just as high as upside as almost anyone. A lot to like about him, in this spot.
Yeah, he slides into any of those forward spots real nicely. He works for me in all fashions. Like, I am going to be flabbergasted if he scores below 40 points, and I think he has legit 60-point upside here.
Agreed.
All right, next up, mutual favorite play of the day. The Orlando Magic have been hit hard the last couple of days. So Cole Anthony can slide into your shooting guard spot tonight at 5K, and you should expect him to hit a nice minimum of the floor right here. So Fultz is out now. He's out for a long time. He is no longer a factor. Michael Carter-Williams is out for the evening, so he's no longer a factor. And per my research, Penny Hardaway is not coming out of retirement today, which leaves Cole Anthony as basically the only real point guard left on the Orlando roster, minus Jordan Bone, which is not a guy that we're really scared of taking monster minutes away from Cole Anthony. It even says there right there in the DK write-up, Cole Anthony is expected to slide into the starting lineup and be the point guard for the Orlando Magic moving forward in the loss of Markelle Fultz. Love the shooting guard eligibility. This is a great matchup with a Rockets team that's top 10 in possessions per game. Also doesn't play much great defense, so there's a lot of ways for him to get right here. Again, Fournier is questionable. Aaron Gordon was literally ruled out right as I was putting this together, so that's one less guy that can really eat into his touches. I think he's also game script proof, like in the sense that like you have no option but to get this guy acclimated. So even if Houston were to roll or Orlando were to roll, you have to assume like he's going to play good minutes tonight because they need to get him ready to be the point guard that's out there for 32 to 36 minutes a night.
So as much as Thies is a free square, I mean, Anthony is my lock of the night. I mean, you got to play him at 5K. All the points you just said. Now, as you mentioned, no Aaron Gordon, which is big. I mean, this is a guy that has a nice usage when he's out on the court. Just opens up a lot more for Anthony, and I completely agree with you. Game script proof. If the Magic are getting rolled here, they're going to give him run because they don't have any other options. They want to get him experience. A ton to like about him at 5K. Another guy, it's probably right there with Thies as the top dollar for dollar plays on the slate. I like Anthony's upside more, but you just play both and move on.
Yeah, he's going to be wildly popular. I mean, everybody knows this is a good play right here. You're not sneaking up on anybody, but this is the NBA, guys. There are sometimes good plays for a reason. And even if you like the idea of fading, guys who are going to get a lot of buyers today, this probably isn't the one to do it. I struggle to see him being the reason you lose today.
Yeah.
I could see the Magic struggling, especially if Fournier doesn't play, and maybe he's not great, but he's still going to, I really, really struggle to see him come in with less than, say, 24 DK points, but with legit, 35, 40-point upside.
For sure. If I had to fade one, I would fade Thies over Anthony, personally.
All right, next up, we're going to move over to our long shot plays of the day, and I'm going to go talk out Bojan Bogdanovic of the Utah Jazz, who, again, also had his price decrease. He's all the way down to 5,300 tonight. One thing that you said is for your money, this is the best NBA game of the night. Well, I'm a Bucks fan. I was going to watch it anyways, but I've skipped some Bucks games this year. When they've been playing the Pistons and Bulls and I knew they'd be blowouts, I only watched a few minutes because I wanted to watch some other games that were more important to DFS. Not tonight, baby. I'm tuning into this game. Best NBA game of the night, in my opinion, as well. And what I like about Bogdanovic, it really comes down to the last bullet point more than anything. Coach Bud deploys a very simple defensive philosophy in the sense that stuff the paint, make guys beat you from the outside. Well, what does Bogdanovic do? He shoots threes. He shoots them at a high level. He's an excellent outside shooter. I called him out on the show twice last year. He scored 24 and 33 real-life points against Milwaukee in their two matchups. One game, Milwaukee squeezed out a victory. One day, the Jazz squeezed out a victory. Either way, they were close games. I prefer him in the GPP mold over cash because he is a little bit inconsistent. But I'll tell people, if you believe in somebody, play him in your lineup. It's hard for me to recommend him in cash games. That doesn't mean I won't have the audacity to go there and do this one on my own. I think this is a really good upside spot for him. And if he hits a couple of threes early, expect him to get hot.
Yeah, the reason I don't think he's unplayable in any format is his price. I mean, he's really cheap at 5,300. We talk about this all the time. If he were 4,900 here, he'd be chalk because he'd be under 5K. People would be like, oh my God, he's under 5K. He'd be chalky. He's only $400 more than that. He's wildly in play here.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to get a ton of love because, one, we got a lot of pay-down options already. Cole Anthony, Daniel Thies, we already mentioned him. He's also a guy whose game log looks pretty awful this year. He's got two nice GPP games and a couple of real stinkers. You got a Utah team coming off of a couple of embarrassing losses over in the New York, Brooklyn part of the world where they, got embarrassed by the Nets without Kevin Durant and then gave up a big lead and got rolled by the New York Knicks. So I think this game is going to be a hard-fought game. I think you're going to get 30-plus minutes of Bogdanovic. And if he gets rolling from three-point range, don't be surprised if he scores 24-plus real-life points again.
No doubt about it.
All right, next up, Matt's long shot of the day. And this is Big Brother giving it to Little Brother.
Yeah, so I know Lonzo is a guy you brought up maybe a week ago, and he was fine. He's a guy that always has GPP upside, though. He's priced still in the same price range he's been. I think this is a big time get up spot for him, for both Ball brothers, but specifically Big Brother here. Charlotte going into New Orleans. I know New Orleans did not play last night. They do not play tomorrow, so an island spot for them. I think this is a game that Lonzo has circled. I think we see the best Lonzo show up here. And at 6,400, I mentioned it right when I started talking about him. We know the upside's real here. I think he shows it tonight. Again, long shot call. I wouldn't play him. I'm not going to play him in like an optimal line, but you better believe he'll make a guest appearance in at least one of my 3-entry maxes.
I think so. I was kind of joking around about that today when I did the NFL video that people think Baltimore really wants to give it to the Titans because they lost last year. Like maybe they concentrate a little bit harder, but like everybody wants to win in the playoffs. Sometimes in regular season games, a little extra motivation, like going up against your little brother, can't hurt a guy like Lonzo, who some days defers more to his better teammates like Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. So if you're looking for him to be a little bit more assertive and aggressive today, that never hurts.
No, and I also feel like those other guys want this for Lonzo. Like, they know it's a big game for him. If there was ever a game like where Lonzo was going to be the best player on the floor for New Orleans, it's this game. And that will happen a few times throughout the year. Not often because Ingram's better, Zion's better. But Lonzo's good in his own right. So a few times this season, he will be the best DK point guy on New Orleans. Maybe it happens tonight.
Yeah, I would never bet on him to outscore
Of course.
Brandon Ingram, but that doesn't mean that there won't be a couple games this year where he does outscore Brandon Ingram, and this could be one of those nights tonight as he tries to give it to his little brother. Nobody wants to be embarrassed by their younger sibling, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. So I feel like he's definitely going to have a little extra pep in his step tonight.
All right, guys, that's what we got for today. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button. Go to the website, buy that NBA package, and I'll get you the NFL package for the rest of the season as well. Best of luck this evening, and go win yourself some cash.
Thanks, guys.